So today I want to talk to you about what is probably one of the most interesting things that I own. And like with any good story, this one starts with the death of a little old lady. Sorry to be so morbid. But a few months after she died, I just so happened to acquire this fascinating little box. And it's something that has genuinely left me shaking in fear at certain times from the things that have happened. So I hope you enjoy what I'm about to say. So for those of you who know me well, you'll know that I like to collect weird things. I've got Ouija boards, I've got voodoo dolls, I collect various different weird pieces of jewellery which I generally have no idea where they came from. And for Valentine's Day, my girlfriend got me a bat skeleton. He currently does not have a name, so if you would like to name my bat, then feel free. And let me know in the comments what name you'd give to this bat. But isn't he so cool? And yeah, it's a real bat skeleton. If you was wondering that. But one of the weirdest things that I own is this creepy little music jewelry box that I got a few years ago. And before I picked up the box, I was at a house, which my job involved at the time, and a few months prior to that, a lady had obviously died there. I had no idea who she was. I had never met her before, but I just so happened to be at the house. The guy dealing with the whole house and the bits and bobs, he was there, and I saw this little creepy box out of the corner of my eye. And the only way I can describe the actual moment was, it was like something was looking back at me. And it was really weird. It was like it stood out, and it was like it was staring at me. Like, it was a really bizarre feeling. So obviously I thought I would probably like to keep that because I'm weird like that and I like collecting weird things. So I knew the guy was cleaning out, I knew everything in there he didn't want anyway, and he was just trying to get rid of it, and in fact he was trying to sell all the things to raise money and give to charity rather than just bin it and so forth. So I said, how much do you want for that? And he said a certain figure, and I gave him a bit of cash, and it all went to charity, so that was all good there. He got to clean away all the stuff he didn't want, and charity, the charity made some money in the meantime. So that was all good. So at the time that I purchased this, I still had a regular office job, like the usual 9 till 5. And I took this back, and I put it in the back of the office with a couple of other weird things like old Victorian and Edwardian coins that were also laying about, which I collected. And the end of the day came, the end of my shift came, and I picked this up, I picked the other things up, and I went back into the car. I put this back, and it was winter, so it was pitch black all around. And I started driving home as usual. Nothing out of the blue, the radio on. It was just another day going home from the office at winter. And then all of a sudden, it just became a little bit colder and it just felt weird in the car. And I'm not just making this story up just for the sake of YouTube. Everything I've said and everything I'm about to say genuinely happened. And it was, at the time, one of the most creepiest experiences. From this moment, I've had various other and, to be honest, scary moments, which I'll get into in a couple of other videos if you guys enjoy this and want to hear about my creepy little tales. So I was driving home, and all of a sudden the temperature just suddenly got a little bit colder, and it was weird. Like, I've never experienced it before, but you know how they say in horror films, oh, the hairs on the back of my neck stood up? Like, genuinely, it was that. It was like, oh, and I felt something was off, and all of a sudden this box started playing music, which was completely weird because it wasn't as if I was going over a bumpy road and something had knocked it to be able to play music. The only way it can play music is if you manually turn the music on by flicking it on. I hadn't opened any of the drawers. They hadn't opened normally. The top bit hadn't flicked up. So I have no idea how this music started playing, and the whole atmosphere as well, like it was just so chilling, and it was just, the vibe was just weird. I was so creeped out, so I immediately turned off the music. I pulled over and I was like, what the hell? So I picked it up and I shook it, and it just stopped playing. I was like, okay. So I started driving, the music off, and I'm just like, what on earth was that? And all of a sudden it just starts playing that creepy little tune again, and I'm like, what on earth is happening? Of course, part of me is fascinated because it's just so interesting, this weird little thing that happens with this box, like the whole situation. But the other part of me was just so freaked out and scared because it was just creepy. So yeah, with all of that happening, I decided to keep the box. It sits above my head when I sleep because I'm weird like that, and I like to collect creepy things. So yeah, this is a really interesting thing that happened with this box. But I'd love to know, do you guys own anything or have owned anything in the past which has just felt a little bit weird? Something bizarre's happened to it. Maybe you've got like a weird feeling, or something physically happened, like with this, it just started playing music out of the blue as the temperature dropped, and it just felt weird. Has anything like that happened to you? I'd love to know, so let me know in the comments as usual. But since then, some more interesting and more scarier things have happened, and they're too long to talk about in this video, so if you guys are interested, I'll probably upload that maybe next week and the week after and the week after that. But some fascinating things which are just weird, which have happened at one of the most haunted woods, I believe, if not in the world, in the UK definitely, called Derring Woods. It's a weird old place. So yeah, I'll talk about that in one of the other videos. But as usual, if you want to stay up to date with my creepy little stuff, or just you want to enjoy my actual light-hearted videos, then make sure to subscribe. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and let me know in the comments if you've experienced anything creepy too. And I'll see you guys in a few days with a brand new and exciting video.